So Sam Howell recently, after his first NFL start and a nice victory against the Dallas Cowboys, has been announced that he will be the starter in 2023 for the Washington Commanders. Meanwhile, that just leaves us to wonder what happens to Wentz, Jake.
Sam Howell is named the starter for 2023 and rightfully deserved. I mean, he showed a lot of promise in that Dallas Cowboys game. As you said, nice victory. But let's get down to a little bit of what's on their roster right now. Taylor Heinicke is listed as quarterback one right now. He's a unrestricted free agent at the end of this year. So you gotta think he's gonna walk. And then, with Sam Howell coming in, who really thinks Carson Wentz is going to be a backup in Washington? So I think this offseason, you'll look for Carson Wentz to get traded. You got Jake Fromm on the practice squad. I don't think he gets elevated to back up Sam Howell. I think they go after a quarterback in the draft to back up Howell. Looking at wide receiver core for next year, you got Harry McLaurin, who's obviously a very good wide receiver. You got speedy Jahan Dotson, who you just drafted this year. And then you also got Curtis Samuel. He's pretty good too. And then you got Brian Robinson out of the backfield. So I think, I don't know. I'm hoping that Sam Howell will succeed and he will be Washington's future.
Yeah, I actually, well, Sam Howell was very interesting first. Let's put it that way, because he was supposed to be the number one quarterback in the 2021 draft, or the 2022 draft, excuse me. He was like projected number one going into his junior season. And then he got hurt a little bit. He had an okay season. So this is not just a random college quarterback gets his chance. This is a guy who was a superstar, who was billed as a superstar, and definitely has earned that chance to start in the NFL. So I'm good for Sam Howell. I think that's real good for him. I think the more interesting question actually is what happens to Taylor Heinicke at this point than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz obviously was very good, but that injury happened is just with the Eagles when they just went downhill ever since. Carson Wentz has never been the same. He's had some good stat years, like last year on the Colts, he wasn't so bad. This year is pretty atrocious. The Eagles, he was pretty atrocious towards the end. But the problem with Carson Wentz is he looks, if you watch the games, he just looks out of sorts on the field. He used to be like a Josh Allen type, a big 6'5" type, where he can mobile it around. And now he's just like, he looks lost. His last game, he threw 3 picks to eliminate Washington. I don't see Wentz going anywhere big. Like he'll get like a backup role if he wants it. But he's been hurt so much. There's no starter role that nobody's jumping up for Carson Wentz. Maybe for Jimmy G, I could see, because now Trey Lance, maybe some other backup quarterbacks. Nobody is going to give nobody, especially there's a lot of free agent quarterbacks too. Carson Wentz will be a backup. Taylor Heinicke now could also be a backup, but I could see a team taking a gamble on Taylor Heinicke, because you've seen, yes, are his stats amazing? No, but you can see he's given those clutch moments, and I think that's something you got taken into consideration.
Yeah, I think Taylor Heinicke's going to walk out of Washington. I don't think Washington's going to resign him. I think he'll get a role somewhere else. And talking about San Francisco, because I heard you were talking about San Francisco a little bit. Brock Purdy is the future. I think Jimmy G's gonna walk.
Really? But they're still tied to Lance, though. They're still tied to Lance.
Well, yes, they are.
So you think he's the future? Explain that, because I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's the future. He hasn't done anything lose the job. I mean, even when Jimmy G comes back, the 49ers announced that.
No, I'm not talking about Jimmy G. I know Jimmy G was supposed to be out of the picture last year. He's definitely out of the picture, that he's going to get either released, traded, whatever this year. I'm talking about Trey Lance. You got to remember they have Trey Lance too. Yes, Brock Purdy has earned himself a spot. Do you think he jumps Trey Lance, though? I don't know about that, but I mean.
Trey Lance is still a very good quarterback, but, I don't think he wants to be a backup to Brock Purdy. I think he could start somewhere else if he wants to.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to topic. I really like the fit for Sam Howell if he in Washington, because you got Ron Rivera, who's a decent coach, no matter what people say. He is a decent coach. You got a decent defense, a really good front on Washington with Sweat and all those guys. They have a team. They've just needed a quarterback. I like Heinicke. He can be clutch in moments, but he's not the true, like, he's not a full starter. We'll just put it that way. Sam Howell could definitely be a full starter. I think that's a very good fit if it all pans out. No, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the biggest need for Washington this year is the offensive line. They need to address that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because like you said, they got the weapons, they got Dotson, they got all those guys. I don't really know what else you need to fix with Washington. Maybe a little more on the secondary, but just fix that O-line. Let's see what Sam Howell's got. Does he have his chance, or is he going to be more like his junior year? We'll have to see.